Let me now bring on board Mr. Arup Roy Chaudhary, Chairman and Managing Director of India's biggest power utility company, which is NTPC. Mr. Chaudhary, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Chaudhary, the Indian power sector currently is in a sorry state of affairs. Capacity is lying idle. There is no fuel or coal availability. Do you expect to hear something important from Finance Minister tomorrow?
Well, yes, on this angle, if you want to look at it, there are two parts, as you said rightly. One is the generation part, where we really expect that TIA to be extended, because that gives a tax holiday to the increase in capacity addition in the country. Or related to that, we also want to keep the power sector out of MAT. But if you really look at you raised the major issue that poor offtakes, that means we'll have to keep the cost of power low. In that case, as far as NTPC is concerned, we have requested some kind of relief on naphtha use, because some of our projects which were planned at naphtha a long time back are today becoming unviable due to the exponential increase of naphtha in the international market. So in the naphtha, we've asked for some kind of relief which can be given. I think it is both in terms of declaring it to be, declared good status. If it is given to naphtha, that will be good. And the exemption of excise duty on naphtha. At least those naphtha plants will start working at a viable rate. The other thing which can be seriously done is that the power sector, if it is treated as other infrastructure and you're exempted from service tax, it will have a direct impact on the tariff of the power which is produced. Now, you know how it is. Every NAP PASA is being challenged. Every NAP PASA is difficult for payment. So it is very important. The other thing is that, if you have been following that, we went for a OFS recently and we got a very good response from overseas. Now the withholding tax, which was actually exempt, brought down from 20 to 5% under 194L, I think. That is not applicable for people who don't have a PAN card in India, under some overriding clause of 206 or something. Now this we have represented to the Finance Ministry, that it doesn't make sense. The basic idea of 212, where we declared a reduction in withholding tax, should be actually made comfort, and this should be applicable to people. So this is as far as the tariff reduction is concerned. Yeah. As far as the coal and other issues, yes, we must understand that although Coal India has upped its coal production to a great extent, but we need to really have matching fuel for the capacity that we have added. And we all know that imported coal doesn't help because it is too expensive.
But Mr. Chaudhary, just to stretch that point forward, do you think the government will cut or remove the duty on imported coal?
Anything that is required to reduce the ultimate tariff is welcome.
Okay. You were just reiterating to MAT rates as well, Mr. Chaudhary. In case the Finance Minister decides to increase MAT rates, how will this, in terms of numbers, impact your profitability?
Now, at the moment, it's very difficult to give you a number. But TIA, which is now being extended every year for new projects being set up in the country, has really encouraged the capacity growth. And if the power sector is not exempt from MAT at the moment, then this benefit will be lost.
Mr. Chaudhary, the country needs power. For power generation, coal is required. But unfortunately, we don't have a sound policy on coal import. Coal linkages are not there. We don't know what is the status with, Coal India when it comes to FSA. What is the ultimate solution?
No, the ultimate solution, as I have been telling on many forums, is that we have to get in more people to mine coal, including as many private sector people who can come in and mine coal in a very transparent manner. We have to have a coal regulator who will provide the platform for a transparent returns on the investment of people. You look at the introduction of a power regulator, the moment it came in, you see the amount of interest shown by the private sector. You see the number of power projects which has come in the last fiscal from the private sector. Even in the going forward in the 12th plan, 50% addition is planned from the private sector. So we need private people to come in and mine coal. We need a coal regulator to give them a comfort on the returns of their investment.
Right. Mr. Chaudhary, your board yesterday okayed investments worth nearly 1,000 crore rupees in 2 states. Can you tell us a little more about these projects?
One of them is Gadarwara project, which is in Madhya Pradesh, and this is actually a part of our bulk tender, which could not be executed in Gajmara in Orissa. Now this project is being taken to Madhya Pradesh, and the board has approved it yesterday after we got all clearance of shifting this project. Now this project will start immediately because we have the land. Madhya Pradesh has given us all the assistance of the land, water, etc. So environmental clearance has come yesterday. So we are now in a position to start this project immediately. The other one was on the coal mining side. If you know that 3 coal mines which has been deallocated, wrongly deallocated, has been reallocated back to us. And now this is the first step towards our investment in this coal mine to start production of our own coal.
The fact that you have a clear visibility on your capex now, can I read in between lines, Mr. Chaudhary here? Are you confident that you will be able to sign a FSA with Coal India? I know there is a significant progress which has happened in the last 3 or 4 weeks, but the FSA has not been signed. I mean, someone has to sign the dotted line.
I would be fair to Coal India that myself and Chairman Coal India has been talking to each other to iron out those issues. You must understand that this is not the first time that we are signing an FSA. We have an FSA with Coal India for long years, and there are certain changes which has happened. Basic change of the trigger point reduction from 90 to 80%, which was actually mandated by the PMO, was acceptable to us. But in the garb of that, many other points have come in, which actually have to be ironed out. And I'm happy to tell you that most of it has been ironed out, except one issue which still remains. And I'm sure we'll come around it.
Shouldn't of signing the FSA before 31st of March, I know there is no official deadline in place, but that's the time the financial year ends.
I think both of us are working towards it. We are both interested in doing so. There is an issue which is a very serious issue actually on the calorific value of the coal that they can supply to us. Because below a certain calorific value, if the coal is supplied to us, it really upsets our designs. So we have a very technical point on that, and I'm sure they will understand our point of view.
Is your existing capacity suffering because you don't have a FSA in place? What I'm trying to understand from you is that once the FSA is in place, what will change for NTPC?
I would say the existing capacity is not suffering. If you see the Coal India's claim of having added 7% capacity in 9 months in this fiscal, I would say we have received 16% more. We must understand that 10 of our 16 coal stations are actually linked from Coal India's mine through our own MGR. So whatever they produce extra comes to my station. So there hasn't been any difficulty as far as NTPC is concerned. But yes, we agree, we are committed to signing the FSA, and we should do that.
Mr. Chaudhary, how is the diesel price hike for bulk users really impacting you?
You know, the diesel price hike on the railway side, what will happen, we don't know as yet. But we were looking at the railway budget yesterday. There has been some hike in the freight, and probably that's going to affect the cost of power. At the moment, we think it could be about 2 paisa. It could go up to 4 paisa. We are still working on the numbers.
Let me get some forward-looking numbers from you. I know you don't give a guidance, but just a ballpark estimation here. What could be your total commission capacity in FY14, and what kind of plant load factor are we looking at for next 6 months from NTPC?
Let me tell you that FY14 we've already announced a capacity addition of about 4,000, of which 2,160 we've already done. Today or tomorrow you will get a good news of some more addition. We are quite confident of achieving that. Going forward in the 12th plan, we've already committed 14,050 megawatts, of which almost 18,000 plus megawatts are under execution. So we see no reason why we should miss that target. And if you want to actually look at what kind of numbers will come. I'm sorry, I won't be able to give it to you, but you must look at our trend. You must see what we have been doing, and I can just tell you that we'll be doing much, much better than that.
Final question, every time I interact with the chairman of BHEL, he's only complaining, and his complaint is NTPC is not giving BHEL any orders.
Well, I don't know. As the status stands, they have to compete to take orders, and they have competed. Some of the orders they've got in competition. As the bulk tender, if you recall, of which this Gadarwara is one of them, which is going to BHEL. Of the bulk tender, the cabinet had mandated that BHEL should be treated as L2, even if they are not L2. So they've got a lot of orders there. So it's not that we have not given any orders.